Hey, it's broadcast personality Wesley Outland, and for the second year in a row, the Community Radio Network is excited to also be the voice of iRacing on LSRTV every Monday and Thursday night with the Northwest Racing Series for Cup and Truck. Join yours truly, Justin Prince and Samuel Dyer, every week as they race towards a championship. We're also on the radio in the Triangle, in the Raleigh-Durham, North Carolina area at 87.5 WCRN and anywhere worldwide at wearecrn.com. Click play, check out the coverage, the power of radio to the imagination of the listener, esports style. We are the Community Radio Network, the voice of iRacing on LSR TV. Check it out when you can, and replays are always up too. Let me tell you about MPM. McAllister Precision Marketing. They can assist up-and-coming racers with career advancement, promotion, and assist in sponsorship procurement. MPM also has media and professional etiquette training. They work with premier driver development teams and limited late models to late models, and they also help the teams to make it up to the levels of K&N, ARCA, Truck Series, and even NASCAR Xfinity. Contact Tanya McAllister today at McAllister Precision Marketing, 803-361-6199. Today, get on the board with MPM.
CrateInsider.com is your one source for crate racing tech and more. Whether you currently race with a crate engine or you are thinking about getting into the sport, our website has what you need. CrateInsider.com has tech videos, interviews with experts, and the best products in the industry. Dyno tested and proven, so we know they are the best products for crate engines. Visit CrateInsider.com today to get on the fast track to victory lane.
This is Finish Line.
Welcome back to Finish Line, and we are back up on audio and video. And our producer, Charles, are you there, brother? You back with us? Oh, that's my fault. I always say this, Charles. When it's live, it's live. And it is what it is, so for sure. Hey, we're going to go right back to Finish Line. We are probably going to be delayed in our regular time, so I'll let everybody know we're going to be at the top of the hour or so, but we are back up again. We are going to go back to our radio video format. And joining us now is the young man of Caden Quapple. Caden was ready to answer the phone. I was just getting ready to call him up. And then I said, hey, man, we're back up on video again. Let's bring you back in. And he quickly obliged. Caden, welcome back to Finish Line. Seems like we just talked to you, 3 weeks ago when your brother was here?
Yeah.
We're having trouble hearing you, buddy. Go ahead. Try that again.
Or is it cutting out?
It's cutting in and out a little bit, man. A little bit. Hopefully it'll still stay. Wow, you got a lot of license plates on the wall.
Yeah.
You could just drive everywhere, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Well, listen, welcome to Finish Line, young man. I think we've got it working here now. What a big win for you in the Carolina Pro Late Model Series, the Fronis 100 at Hickory. I know it was a late night. It was a wild night. I got to I was actually supposed to work that event, and then I couldn't get anybody on our broadcast crew to cover for me doing the NCAA softball, so I had to broadcast that game. And I immediately told Keith Graham and Wendy that I had another obligation. I was like, look, I'll finish up at like 5:30 in the afternoon. If you want me to drive all the way to Hickory, which, by the way, Caden, you've been to Southern National. You know where Raleigh and Hickory is. It's a long way. I was like, if you want me to drive, I'll do it, but it'll be late when I get there. And now I'm kind of kicking myself, Caden, that I didn't go because the race started at like 11:30 at night. But
yeah,
you won it.
Yeah, it was definitely a late night, but it was good to end off how we did. So, although it was super late, it was cool to be able to pick up the win in pretty dominating fashion, I would say. I mean, we were probably definitely the car to beat, and we lapped up to probably like 5th. So, we were rolling pretty good, and we were definitely the quickest, or at least really quick, in my opinion.
Yeah, you guys certainly put on a show, man. That's definitely no doubt about it. Going down the stretch, you really did. And what a performance you had. Obviously, a big win for you again. I want to say, is this your second win this year, I think it is. Second win, obviously,
Yeah.
the Car Store win, and then this first win on the year for the Carolina Pro Late Model Series, which, by the way, makes it now 3 winners in 3 races on the tour. So, man, Josh Louder won at Southern National, Mason Maggio won at Franklin County, and now you win at Hickory. You know, and I got to say this, Caden, I think that the decision to run both series, where did that come about? And I got to give mad props to you and your family because some people say they're kind of worried about this pro late model battle between Cars and Carolina Pro because they're feeling it's going to split the cars up. But it honestly looks like the last few races, 2 for Cars, 3 for Carolina Pro, somehow, some way they're making it work with guys like yourself trying to run both.
Yeah, it's cool now because this year mainly they separated their schedules so they don't have races overlapping with the other series. Like that's kind of why I didn't get to run much last year, is because Carson, when he was on Cars Tour, like certain times, like we were at Nashville one time with him with Cars Tour, while I think my race was at Hickory, so we had to skip out on my races to go help him with Cars Tour stuff. So it's mainly, I
Sure.
think, them separating the schedules like off and on weeks now instead of being on top of each other, that people like me can run 2 series now and not have any conflicts with the other series that they're trying to compete in with like overlapping dates, I guess.
Listen, we are with the driver of Caden Quapple, and Caden Quapple, of course, winning at Hickory Motor Speedway, the birthplace of NASCAR stars, if you will. Charles, you got a question for our young man? You can bring me back side by side with him as well.
See, let me get my mic open here. We're a little scattered in the studio right now. You know, I'm just gonna go back to what you mentioned earlier about the license plates. Um, I'm just curious how you acquired them all. Did you like go to those states, or did you like Bonnie and Clyde secretly like robbing banks and stealing license plates so you could swap them out or something?
I'm not like 100% sure because it was when I was younger at the time, but I think a lot of them were like traveling. We'd find some, but I think also we went to a few stores and bought some, I guess. But or
Mhm.
like some of my friends from out of town would bring us theirs that they didn't need anymore. But I think I have all 50 states around my room, and I have more in the basement somewhere, and I think in my closet. So I definitely have a lot of them.
Well, listen, I'm just letting Mike Norman know that we are going back to video format here, and we'll get him on the line here. Father and son, Mike and Cody Norman, coming up here to wrap up Finish Line. We are going to go a little bit into overtime. We're coming up on the top of the hour. Matter of fact, if you are listening on the Fox Sports Radio affiliates, if we need to part ways for all of our great crew, I'm Wesley Outland. God bless you all. Thank you for listening. For those that are still with us, we're going to pause for about 10 seconds so they can kill feed, and then we'll come back with the remainder of Finish Line and Caden Quapple.
Hey, it's broadcast personality Wesley Outland, and for the second year in a row, the Community Radio Network is excited to also be the voice of iRacing on LSRTV every Monday and Thursday night with the Northwest Racing Series for Cup and Truck. Join yours truly, Justin Prince and Samuel Dyer, every week as they race towards a championship. We're also on the radio in the Triangle in the Raleigh-Durham, North Carolina area at 87.5 WCRN and anywhere worldwide at wearecrn.com. Click play, check out the coverage, the power of radio to the imagination of the listener, esports style. We are the Community Radio Network, the voice of iRacing on LSR TV. Check it out when you can.
All right, so we're at the top of the hour, and we continue on with Finish Line. Welcome back. I'm Wesley Outland. Charles Wooten is here. We've got Caden Quapple as we go into overtime here. And, of course, as I always say, when we're live, we're live. And when things go wrong, things go wrong. And we had a little technical issue, and it put us behind by about 10 minutes. And then we had to reset, regroup. We went into a radio format for about 40 minutes. And then we said, well, we got video back. Let's get back on video. So we called another audible here. So, but I promise you, though, all of our audience, all of our listeners, we will do our due diligence to make sure everybody like Caden Quapple, Mike and Cody Norman get their ample time here on Finish Line. So with that being said, Caden, a phenomenal weekend for you at Hickory, running with the Carolina Pro Late Model Series. This win, does it
obviously, I know it's got to make you feel good because you went to Southern National and you blew an engine. You blew an
Yeah.
engine on practice Friday. And I know a lot of people at one time you were telling me, man, we're going to be sidelined. We're probably not going to run the Cars Tour or run the Carolina Pro Series now because of it. What a rebound for you to get back up on the high horse and to win at win at Hickory after the engine woes at Southern National.
Yeah, definitely it was a really good rebound for us because we blew up, I think, 20 laps into a new motor at Southern National. So that one definitely hurt. And then we had to miss out Franklin County because of it. And then I think we just got the motor back like Thursday, like 2 days before the race. So my dad got it in Thursday while I was at school. We went to Hickory on Friday just to shake down the car for a little bit and then practice a little on Saturday morning and got the car pretty much dialed in from
Right.
there. So it's definitely really cool to come back from that hole we were stuck in, really, and just didn't have much time to get like ourselves prepared for this race, but we ended up getting it done, so that's awesome.
Caden, what is are you wanting to go into a full-time late model stock like your brother Carson? Obviously, he's got the opportunity with Junior Motorsports, and I know you got to be tickled to death for him, but at the end of the day, you also have got to focus on you, and you got to focus on your racing endeavors. So what does Caden Quapple want to do?
I'd say I'd probably want to stay on the asphalt side of racing. I'm doing
Mm-hmm.
part-time dirt too right now. Like tonight, we're going out to Millward just to race the non-wing micros, so that's gonna be
There you
fun.
go.
But I think I'd like to stay on the asphalt side. Hopefully, get farther up in the ranks, like how my brother's going right now, and hopefully follow in his footsteps and follow my dad's footsteps too. And then just try and get to our end goal, which hopefully is NASCAR.
And I will tell you this: obviously, you think of Carson Quapple, but their father is Travis Quapple. And Charles, I don't know if you knew this or not, buddy, but he is a former NASCAR Camping World Truck Series champion.
I think I remember that. We're gonna say I did, just so I don't look dumb.
Definitely. Well, listen, Caden, plans for the rest of the year. Obviously, this win has got to make you want to run the Cars Tour and the Carolina Pro Series. You mentioned dirt. What dirt races are you doing besides Millbridge?
I'm not completely sure, but we still have our Outlaw cart that I ran all last year, so we might run a few races with that. And then obviously the full season, the micro at Millbridge. And we might do some big shows in the micros if we have time to. Like I'm guessing this year we'll probably go to the Tulsa Shootout again, run the micro there, like
Wow.
New Year's week, I guess. And then maybe some big shows if we have time to. So that's mainly our dirt side of it, and that's basically all for that side.
Man, that's got to be fun though, man. Have you been to Tulsa Shootout? Obviously, that's the big race on New Year's weekend in December, leading up to the Chili Bowl. But is the plan to try to do a couple more years of the Tulsa Shootout and then move up to the Chili Bowl in mid-January?
Yeah, possibly. If I stay with the dirt stuff, I'm gonna stay with it for a while, but I'm not sure where it's gonna take me. But I think we'll probably run the micro stuff for a couple of years, maybe 2 or 3, and probably do the shootout most of the time. And then hopefully just a midget ride comes around along, like what my brother's doing. He's run like a few races with Mark Daly, who owns like the micro stuff I ran last year a little bit. So he kind of does all around anything on dirt, I guess. So maybe I can run a few times with that and maybe get to the Chili Bowl one day. So that's pretty important for me, and hopefully we can stay rolling until we get there.
What are you learning, obviously, from seeing I'm looking at some stats here on the season and where you're at right now, but where do you feel like you're growing as a driver, not only with the help of your father, Travis, and his credentials and successes, but what brother Carson's been able to do? I mean, does he try to, if you're not racing, does he let you go with the car with the Junior Motorsports team and see what's going on and see the do's and the don'ts and the ins and the outs? And do you feel like that helps you better be prepared when you finally get an opportunity for a late model ride? Or is it, I got to do what I got to do, you do what you're doing, brother, and somehow or another we'll get together and we'll congregate when we can?
Yeah, it's kind of 50-50 on that side. Like when he first started running that car, like Florence, I think it was, at the end of the year, we went there
Right.
for him, and I kind of tagged along, like in the trailer and just hung out and watched what happened with the team and how they really did everything and their like how they performed, their obstacles they faced, and then it's kind of on the other side of things. Like we both do our own thing, but we'll meet sometime, which that's kind of how it is now. The first I think 3 car series races, we're both running our own car, so we don't really, I guess, hang out with the other team and help them. But when he gets the chance, he helps us, and I kind of hang out them with their trailer and watch what they're doing while he's on track instead when I'm not off track, I guess.
Sure, man. Well, I'll tell you what, it has been an awesome time talking with you, Caden. And to have you one-on-one. Charles, you remember last time we had the brothers back and forth, and they were talking on top of one another and fighting for the last word? Sometimes I instigated that. I'm sorry.
But just a thought from my final thought. The last time we were here, we had a little chaos too, because this time, the computer went crazy. Last time, he tells me at the last minute, oh yeah, they're on separate cameras. So I have to completely redo the overlays for this whole thing in like 10 minutes to get this whole thing going. So, yeah, it's been an interesting couple of weeks.
When it's live, right? I mean, it's like in the cockpit of a race car, right, Caden? If something messes up and it's like, guys, I've got a bad vibration here. Well, we got 20 laps to go. Try to figure out a way to finish the race,
Yeah.
So, for sure, definitely. It never stops, exactly. Where are you racing at next, man, besides Millbridge tonight? When's the next late model event? Are we going to see you go down to Goodyear for the Carolina Pro Series? Are you going to make the trip down there to Jacksonville?
I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure when that exactly is, and I'm not sure how
April
our schedules.
30th.
It is April 30th. We might. I think we might be racing up in Wisconsin. I'm pretty sure we are with Carson, and I think Madison. That's where we're running. So season opener with him with the ARCA Midwest Tour. I'm pretty sure. So I think we'll be there during that time. And I think my next race is this weekend at Greenville for the Cars Tour. Me and Carson are both racing there, and I'm running the pro late model. He's running late model stock for junior. So we'll both be at Greenville on Saturday.
That's right, the Cars Tour, Solid Rock Carriers Cars Tour. Pro late models and the late model stocks will be in action at Greenville Pickens Speedway. And later on this year, the Carolina Pro Late Model Series will also be at Greenville Pickens Speedway. I remember when I had Keith Graham on a couple of weeks ago to promote Southern National, that was one of the things he talked about was, I'm looking forward to going to these different racetracks. And that's one of the cool things, man. I know there's like 14 dates, but 12 races are at new racetracks for sure. So definitely. Caden, thanks for taking the time to be on Finish Line, my friend. Before I do let you go, I want you to thank your sponsors, and I apologize for the lateness.
Yeah, you're all right. But I need to thank Corvette Parts on now with Tom and TJ Keen and Lake Noah Mechanical. They help us a lot. They get us to the track every week. They're our supporters of our team, me and Carson. They have always been there for us. So them, Weir's Machine Racing Products, Doors by Nally, Extreme Truck and Trailer Specialties, and I think I got them all. So thanks to all of them. They're always helping us. So couldn't do without them.
Well, listen, bud, you the man. It's always great talking to you, Kanan. Keep that drive, that personality that you got, man. I think it's going to take you very, very far, definitely. And when you make it to the big time, I'm sure your daddy's already told you that as well. Don't forget where you come from. Some of these people hit the big time and they go ego and lose their damn mind, and they just become totally different people. So just keep that personality that you got, my friend, and definitely always remember where you came from to climb to the levels of where you're at. And I think you're going to be a great young man in the sport. So, Caden, thanks for being on Finish Line again. I think you're probably the fastest back-to-back return on Finish Line ever so far. I mean, you were on 2 weeks ago, and then you come back again later. So, definitely.
Yeah. I'd say that's a good thing.
Charles, who's here.
Hopefully, hopefully we can keep doing that.
All right, bud. Well, listen, you take care of yourself, my friend, and be safe out there. Good luck at Greenville Pickens this weekend.
Yep, thank you, and thank you for having me. Hopefully we can see you next week after Greenville.
Hey, you win. You win, I bring you on. You win, I bring you on. I promise, all right?
All right.
Caden Quapple, ladies and gentlemen, here. Yes, sir. No problem, young man. That's Caden Quapple, of course, picking up the win in the Carolina Pro Late Model Series at Hickory Motor Speedway. And now we have reached our final guest. Our final guest of the program is a father-son team, and they are in their cars. They're in their car, not race car per se. I've known these cats for a very, very long time. I used to watch that young man to your left, Cody Norman, literally like a little bitty thing growing up. And the friendship that me and Mike Norman have had has been for at least 2 decades when I used to do stuff in the Smart Modified Tour before what became now the Smart Modified Tour, the old Southern Modified Auto Racing teams when Randy Myers had it. Mike and Cody Norman, MN Motorsports is their trademark. Gentlemen, welcome to Finish Line. Can we hear you? Or are you there, guys? Can you hear us? I don't know if they can hear us, so we're having audio video issues there, guys. Well, let's reset. Can we do that real quick, Charles? Bring me back. There you go. There you go. We got you. Can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me, Mike? Mike and Cody. You see them, people. You see we're making an effort. Bring me back, Charles. Bring me back on the screen. You see we're making an effort. Holy cow, I look all shrunk up too. What happened? All right, well, we might be having a signal issue with Mike and Cody.
You can hear us?
Yeah. Can you hear us now?
Yep. Yeah, we got you.
There you go. All right. So wherever you're at, stop your car. Don't move.
Yep. Yep, we're good now.
I look pixelated, Charles. Why am I pixelated? You bring me down too? Okay. Well, anyhow, welcome to Finish Line. We're glad you're here, Mike and Cody Norman. MN Motorsports is a part of their team, the number 12 cars. And, man, before I go any further, Mike, I just want to ask you this question. What does it mean to – and I know per se you've not officially made the announcement I'm retiring, stepping out of the race car, but what does it mean to not drive the car like you do and being that father / team friend to your son Cody and seeing the success he's had out of the gate really, really quickly?
Well, I think the success has made it a whole lot easier because we started the season. We had our schedule planned out. I was going to run the Smart Tour. Cody was going to run the Carolina Pro and Franklin County Caraway. 2 days before season starts, we lose 2 major crew members. So that kind of threw everything into another plan. It's a little easier to go with Cody with the crate car with 2 or 3 people. And we decided to do that. And I will tell you, Wesley, it is different. I've been sitting in the car for so many years, and people saying, we're going to set the sway bar, we're going to set the track bar. Now I'm having to do that. So I must be doing a pretty good job. He's had a 5th, 2 seconds, 2 wins. So we're very proud of him for that.
For sure. Definitely, man. Cody, welcome to Finish Line, young man. Obviously, I've had the chance to watch your success, and your first 2 back-to-back modified wins I was able to be on the call for. And, and I say this to Mike, and I say this to everybody so many times. I enjoy calling races. I'm a race fan first. You're a race fan before you do this as a career. But, and I said this to Mike on Monday on social media, on Facebook, lining you guys up. I was tickled to death. I was happy for you guys when y'all won the race on Friday. The fan came out of me calling the race, but to be down there with you was very exciting.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I can tell you were excited. My mom and sister actually watched the race on the pay-per-view or whatever. They said y'all were going crazy. So I appreciate the support. Y'all have kept the faith, I guess.
Keeping the faith for sure, definitely. Yep. Hey, so Mike, let everybody know how MN Motorsports got started and where it's at and where it's continuing to grow with now a father-son organization.
We started out, I drove pace car for NASCAR for about 20 years, mostly at Bowman Gray, a couple times at other tracks, and my biggest time on driving pace car, I drove at Charlotte one time for a Xfinity race. With our business, DMC Auto Exchange, we sponsored various drivers, starting with Billy Middleton, moved over to Junior Miller. Junior had 2 cars. I would go practice some with him. Kevin Powell, Foothill Ford. Kevin and I've been friends forever. Kevin got a new car.
Powell.
Yeah, that would be him. Yeah, he got a new car. Wanted if we'd go help practice with it. I said, yeah. Started renting a car from them. Did that for a couple of races. The next year, Jason and Burt Myers were working for us at the time. We rented a car from Jason and Gary Myers. They kept it up, and I went to track where most ran the Wheeling Tour and some Bowman Gray. And then a couple years later, we bought one car. Got along. Business is pretty good with some helps and some great sponsors. We bought 2 cars. Now with Cody, we've added a third. The tour car is sitting here. It's completely ready to go. I've got a 602 that's ready to kind of put my efforts towards that. I've missed going to the track. It's good. Everything's good. I've just really enjoyed watching him progress. He's really done great. He's had some great finishes, but he's really progressed with the knowledge of the car. He's making some of his own calls now, and I think that's something that I've looked forward to, and I'd look forward to get a little bit more of that in the future.
Cody, your take on everything at a young age where you're at right now, young man?
Yeah, it's everything's. I mean, so far this year's gone really well. It's been a steady progression per se. You know, starting out, I mean, I never raced anything before I got in a modified car. Never really raced go-karts, nothing like that. So to jump in this thing and just expect to go compete with guys that's been racing for longer than I've been alive, it's kind of tough to start out with, you know. I was always the youngest one out there, it seemed like, at the time. Now I'm, you know, run with Polly Hartwig's 11 and Carson Laughlin's 14 years old, so that's kind of crazy. But I couldn't imagine doing that. But it's been fun. You know, we've really progressed, and we've gotten better. I mean, every year I feel like we've gotten just a step better, another little bit better here, there. And then this year we got this new car to see really what we've got, and everything's really gone better than I expected. I was worried about getting the new car and then it not being, or like not seeing any improvement. You know what I mean?
Sure,
like,
sure.
It was. Yeah, I would have been disappointed if we'd got out and it had been, you know, the same kind of feel or the same speed. But luckily, it's been a difference maker so far, so I'm happy with that.
Well, you can bring me back on camera as well with them, Charles. And if you've got any questions for this father-son race team, and hey, his name's Cody, like your name's Cody. Cody Wooten, what you got for him?
You know, I got so flustered with the whole thing not working, I couldn't think of any questions. But you know, I'm just gonna go back to the one I asked the first guest here, or second guest. I can't remember who it was, but anyway, it was a guest on the show, and that is hot dogs. Do you eat hot dogs or hamburgers at the race, or do you eat it all? We found out apparently some people just don't eat at all.
The questions he comes up with. Go ahead, guys. Hot dogs, hamburgers, no food. What do you do, guys? What do you eat? Somebody's calling you. Tell them you're on the air.
Well, I'll go first with that one. Yeah, I'll go first with that one. I can't hear us.
Can you hear us?
See if we can get on again.
It's like,
can you hear me?
Delayed or something.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead. Give us your answers.
Yeah, let's try that again.
You back?
Hey, there you are.
Okay, we're back.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're back.
Okay, so
little
hot dogs,
laggy.
hamburgers, no food at the racetrack. What would you do? Mike, you go first.
Yeah, I don't eat that much at the track. I may eat a plain hamburger. Don't really go for the hot dogs at the track. No real superstition, but just, I don't know, you get there and you got so much going on, it's hard to eat. Now, after the race, I could eat the side of the house. I'm so hungry. But, you know, during the race, I'm not that hungry.
That's exactly what Clay
Yeah,
Jones said. Cody, what about you? You're a young man. You got to keep your metabolism up.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I really don't eat anything when I'm there. I usually get a little worked up. I'm not gonna lie about that. So I usually just don't eat nothing.
People ask me, and if I get something at the concession stand at Caraway Speedway or wherever I'm at, Normally, what I'll do is I'll get like a hot dog or a cheeseburger or something, and I will save it for later. Unless I decide to eat lunch before going to the racetrack. But my thing is you got to keep yourself in shape, guys. Come on now, you know what I'm talking about. You got Shut up, Charles. You got to keep yourself in shape. So I try to go to the gym. I try to keep worked out. And then I also, in addition to that, try not to eat a lot of junk, fatty foods. Obviously, because, when you're sitting down and you're being lazy, not being lazy, but when you're sitting down doing your job, you can put weight on a lot quicker than you could, being mobile and running around and running, jumping, climbing trees. So I totally get that. So, Mike, when does Cody get a chance to run with the tour, the NASCAR mods, or of course the smart modified tour, man? And will we ever see father and son race each other on the tour level? The question was so. I think they froze up again. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Mike and Cody? Are you there? I hear like air in the background, like it's their like driving, or if it's the wind. Can you hear us, guys? Are you there? Important question. Are you with us? Hello, Charles. I think we lost them. We'll try to bring them back. Tell them to hang up and call back. Well, you can't message them. I can. Hey, tell them to.
Okay, you back?
Sorry, they're focused.
Are you back?
Yeah.
Yes.
Freezing
Yeah,
up. Yeah,
we're back. Yeah, on that question, we're thinking about that now. Right now, he's running for a track championship at Caraway, probably Franklin County and the Carolina Pro. But the Smart Tour takes off after this week, and then they don't run again until July. So sometime July, the end of the fall, we're probably going to progress him over there and see what he's got there. I really think it'll be an easier transition for him than he thinks it will, because yes, he'll have more horsepower, but you got so much better grip in the car to car. I've drove the 602 modifieds and tour car. Tour car is a whole lot easier to drive.
Now, why is that? What is it? Just because it's just the handling? Is it because it's just the bigger tires? What I mean, so let everybody know. A touring type mod 600 horsepower car is the same as a 602 mod as far as the body and the tires and the chassis. It's just the engine, right? That's the only thing that's the difference.
Well, there's difference in the tires. The tour mod runs a 15-inch tire, and the 602 car runs a 10-inch tire. So
So it's a tire,
on the tour
too.
car, you've got a whole lot more grip, softer tire. Also, you run F45 on the 602, 20s and 30s on the tour car, so you got a softer tire. So it makes it. But everything outside that, the car and everything, transmission, everything, glass, that's the same.
So Cody, hang on, fly by.
Okay.
Cody, what is it like getting in these race cars, bud, at your young age? What is it like to race these cars? Can you hear me, Cody? Hello? Yeah. Cody, what's it like to race these cars, buddy? Can you? That look like...
Yeah, it keeps freezing up on us here, but yeah, it's a lot of fun to get to race these things. It's something I've always wanted to do, and it's been fun ever since we got to start. It's different because you try to learn as much as you can every time you're out there. So the 602 deal is it's just so much momentum and everything, and it's hard to learn which way to be the best and everything. So it's fun and something I want to continue doing.
So before you freeze up, stay in your lane right there. Don't move. You moved them too far. Stay right there. When you're live, Mike. Where do you see the state of modified racing, Mike, from where you've raced for so long to where we're at? pre-pandemic, post-pandemic, the rising fuel cost, great crowds. You look at Wake County Speedway, they had a phenomenal crowd. I told Charlie, man, you should bring the tour mods to Wake County Speedway. They'd be awesome. Some people might not like them. I don't know. Maybe a 602 modified race might be in the cards. A Carolina Crate modified race might be something to do there at Wake County. But with that being said, Mike, you've been around this game a long time, my friend. Where do you see modified racing at right now?
I think right now the South is in as good a position it's ever been. Look at the Smart Tour. They had 30 cars at South Boston this week. That's phenomenal, especially with what you said, the price of gas is, the price of fuel is, and you've got a great group there that not only going to run the Smart Tour, but then you got another group that's getting ready to start over at Bowman Gray Stadium. Now, the 602s, if you get them all together, there's probably 20, 30 of them around here. But you got 5, you have 3, you need to get them all. As far as the situation, as good a shape as I've seen it in 20 years.
Yeah, and you know, it was just announced, by the way, Bowman Gray Stadium is going to be running on broadcasted on Flow Sports coming up this year as well. So Flow Sports will definitely. Hey, he's doing it again. He is.
There we go. We're here.
Yeah. Well, listen, guys, I'm going to let y'all go because we're having the technical thing, but it pretty much got the answers that we were looking for. Before I do let you go, Mike, are we going to see you race anymore this year?
Yeah, I hope so. As soon as we can fit something in that's not bothering Cody's schedule, I'm going to run somewhere. I ain't gave up yet, but we're just going to concentrate more on him. Believe it or not, he's younger than I am, so we're giving him a better chance this year.
But you know what, though? For a father to a son, and I know he's right there beside you, and I know me and you talked about this down trackside at Caraway before we done public address. You know, I think I used the analogy on the broadcast. He's a father. He also is the crew chief, and he's the spotter. And those feet are churning under that water 100 miles a minute because you're excited. But you've also got to keep that composure to not make him make a mistake by going, that the father has got to come after the driving professional duties. Am I correct? Get the job done, then we'll celebrate father and son.
Yeah, that's true. And sometimes you have to have some tough love. You have to say, well, this thing's got to be done like this. So we do that. But Cody's great to work with. He's not one of these type drivers like a while ago that gets the big head. I watched him Sunday morning. He got up and he got through all the doors in the house. So we was proud of him there. His head didn't grow too much. But, Cody and I both at our house, we get brought down to earth very easily by his sister and my wife. So, if we don't win or finish second or third, they're like, well, why did you even go? So we have that to put up with. But we're proud of him. He's doing a great job. And like I said, I hadn't officially retired yet, but with what he's doing, we're going to give him the best ever. He's got a heck of a season started so far.
Cody, your final take, buddy, as well, being with your dad, father, son, that bond, it's got to be special. It's got to be special. But at the end of the day, when you get in that race car, you strap in that helmet and get in that cockpit, you got a job to do, and your dad wants you to perform. It's going to go out again. It's going to go out again. Great questions, and it goes out again. Oh, go ahead.
Dad's not the hardest person in the world to work with.
Oh, Cody, are you there?
It's like delayed. It's really delayed, but
you moved him too far.
All right, I'm here.
All right, let's try this again.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, but no, I heard everything you said.
Internet sucks sometimes.
Yeah, but everything. Dad works really well with me. He's not that hard on me to an extent at least. Everything, I mean, he's really stepped up this year, having to help out, in the crew chief kind of role and everything. So everything's worked pretty well so far, and we'll just kind of see how the rest of the season goes.
Well, listen, guys, we're going to let you go. Thanks for being on Finish Line, Mike and Cody Norman. You can follow them, of course, in their names separately, but also at MN Motorsports. That MN Motorsports. You might need to change this, Mike, to MCN Motorsports now because of Cody. What do you think? What's that?
Yeah, well, Wesley, when he starts writing the checks, we may do that.
For sure. Well, listen, guys, thank you. Charles, you got anything else for our buddies in the car? I admire their spirit to just hang in there.
Just to Cody, I like your name, and go out and win some races so you can start paying bills so they'll at least put you in the title.
There you go. We'll try to. I'll try to make both of us proud.
Well, listen, it's always great seeing you guys, Mike, Cody, seeing where you've grown from being a kid to now being the driver, of course. And I can say the same thing about Carson Lofton with Brian Lofton and Mike as well, man. Thank you for decade and more of friendship and knowing you, and always been a kind soul and a great person to talk to in the pit area. And, man, I wish you guys nothing but continued success for sure.
Hey, we appreciate it, Wesley. Thank you for letting us come on here. Sorry for the delays, but we did the best we could.
Yeah, Wesley, thanks for everything. A lot of times things you do go unappreciated, but we really appreciate all you do for short track racing. Thank you.
Well, you're very, very welcome, and you can't help it. When it's live, and that's why some people get so mad. But the technical stuff is technical stuff, and we ain't got no control over it. So we were going to go to the phone format. Maybe
breaking down.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. We'll just get the damn flux capacitor next time, okay, Charles? That's what we'll get. Guys, y'all take care. Safe travels wherever you are. We'll see you in a few weeks in Caraway, okay?
All right. Thank you, bud.
Thank you, Wesley.
Enjoyed it. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is, of course, Cody Norman and Mike Norman and MN Motorsports. And Charles, we've had, God almighty, it feels like it's Friday the 13th or Wednesday the 13th. It's only the 6th.
You never know what's going to happen around here. I mean,
oh my goodness. Do you know wait a minute. Next Wednesday's the 13th. You know that, right?
It is.
I just jinxed ourselves. Holy hell. I didn't jinx ourselves right out of the gate a week earlier.
Well, you have. And and of course, and true fashion, Wesley, I do have an ending segment for us.
It figures you would. It figures.
So this one's for all the video people out there that are watching, and for you, Wesley. Just so you know what I'm doing right now. I'm going to put it up on the screen. Here you go. You ready? There you go. This is what I'm doing. I'm looking for some food on DoorDash. Yes.
Late lunch for me, exactly. I'll probably wait till dinner to eat, but it's 3:34 Eastern time. It's 2:34 for Charles. And there's Charles again. So yes, everybody, if you didn't know what Charles looked like, there he is. Hey, Charles, so my segment, my bit
you
before we get off the air. I get a damn segment always. Let's talk about your production here. Let everybody know what LSR Productions is besides the Finish Line production.
That's a messy room for starters.
Covered after a massive death failure this afternoon.
This is the PC that completely failed on us. We lost some stuff, which there's Wesley. We'll get a continuous loop of Wesley. And there's DoorDash. Yes, I'm not kidding you. I am ordering DoorDash during this. So, yes, we won't show anything behind because you saw that last night. It is a mess. But, yes, for all the people wondering out there, this is the crap that's running this show right now. NASA called. They said they want some of them back, but it's a production, so I can't give away all my secrets. So.
I'm sorry. What I was saying was the work that goes behind making these shows happen, and not just my show, anybody in general. It takes work, and there's production, and like we said, we laugh about it. When you're live, and you just got to make make the best of it. It's we had an incident last year, a promoter. I like I said, I would love to try to make amends, because it was in no way trying to disrespect him in any way as a promoter. But when you're live, and when you've got it frozen, or if you've got glitches or whatever, you just try to make the best of what is on the air. With that being said, I think it kind of got a little blown out of proportion on that side of things. But I was told by somebody, I was in the path of the tornado. He was already having a bad day, and I was in the path of the tornado. And when that happened, that just that turned a F1 into an F5. And if you don't know what the F is, that's the Fujita scale. That's how much destruction it causes whenever it goes off and destroys. So on a twister, but Charles, man, we got so many great ideas, man. Oh, and by the way, didn't even talk about this weekend, Martinsville. You got to be at Martinsville Speedway. I know we talked about the Xfinity race, the 811 call before you dig 250 Xfinity race on Friday with Dale Jr. I feel like I'm doing the local forecast. This is Martinsville Speedway, and this is the beautiful skyline, and here is the racetrack, and there will be cars going around the paperclip this weekend. So you got to be there, and it's going to be clear skies and 75 degrees. Now back to you, Charles, with sports.
Is it going to be clear skies? Do we know this for sure? Is it going to be clear skies?
I have no idea. I think it is.
Me neither. So. I'm not sure either.
But you know what, though, Charles? What I was trying to say was whenever you had the problem you had, we quickly adapted. We got back on the air. Our radio affiliates quickly played commercials. We quickly got able to connect on the radio side of things. We covered that for about 40 minutes. And then, we could have stayed on radio, but I was like, you know what? I want to do the video format because, this is what people know Finish Line to be now. Since mid-October, LSR Productions has made Finish Line be video and audio. So I thank you for that. I think today was just a day where we just didn't turn on one another, being frustrated and upset, and you adapted and you go through and you work it out.
Yeah. They always say the best people at their job are the ones that can, react accordingly, whether it's announcing, producing, whatever. The ones that don't get frustrated and just, like the whole incident with the promoter, stuff was going on. And instead of just being like, the heck with this, it's not working, and just shutting it down, you carry on like nothing's happening, or you make fun, you make light of it. And all that was, it really was blown out of proportion. It was me and you trying to figure out what was happening. You hear a sound and it's like a guessing game. We're like trying to figure out what was going on. And I feel bad you got hit by that F5 tornado. But, it's one of those deals. It is what it is. And it was not any ill will intent. So it was just us trying to figure out, oh, hey, what's he doing? We can't see it, but we can hear it.
That's right. Well, listen, it's always great working with you, Charles.
I know it is.
I think we have a. What did you say?
It's
always great working with me.
I just agree with you.
Have you decided what you're going to get for DoorDash?
No, but we have it narrowed down, and if anybody wants to give any shout-outs there, we got chicken and biscuits from Cracker Barrel, Chick-fil-A, Panda Express, Popeyes, whatever, delivery, Subway, or Kung Fu Chicken.
Do not disrespect chicken. I love chicken, okay? Popeyes chicken, KFC chicken, Bojangles chicken, you name it, all right?
He likes chicken, folks. I won't get you wrong. I like chicken too, so I'm not gonna go there. But the question is, and my final question for you is, do you like their spicy chicken or the regular?
No, I cannot.
Oh,
so
yeah,
I don't know if you know this or not. I've got diverticulitis. And that's one of the things I was talking to Mike and Cody about trying to stay healthy and not eat fattening foods or a lot of greasy foods and, of course, spicy foods. I don't want to go off subject here, but in 2017, I started getting bad pains, Charles, and I would just put it off. There were times where I'd wake up in the middle of the night or in the morning, I couldn't move. Like, I could not even crawl out of bed. And
Hey,
I'm
every
talking,
morning.
I would cry. No, not every morning. I just said I was in dire pain. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I was popping ibuprofens like crazy. I was eating pain pills and goodies powders and everything else to try to take the pain away. Not addicted. Don't think of it that way.
Yeah,
It's
we
not
were popping
anything
out
like
pen
that.
dispenser. Clunk, clunk, clunk.
No, I'm just saying that I would pop pain pills to try to take the pain away, and it would go away, but then it would come back. And the more and more that it came back, it got worse. And it got worse. And it got worse.
Yeah, you should
And
have went to the doctor.
finally, I was stubborn, man. I'm going to tell you, I learned my lesson. I used to be,
Amen.
hell no, I'm not going to no damn doctor. You ain't sending me to the ER. I'm not doing anything. And I will tell you this. I ended up going to my parents and they made a spaghetti dinner. And I used to love to drink Mountain Dew like no one's business. And I used to love to eat spicy foods, jalapenos, habaneros, ghost pepper. My dad ate it spicy. I ate it spicy. I didn't care. I was right there with him. My dad would literally cook dinner, or we'd have dinner at the house when I was growing up. And you remember those big pans of jalapeno peppers, or like in the jar with the juice? He would literally pull them and eat them at the dinner table. Well, I would do it with him. I'd eat them right there with him as well. So, mind you, we now go into the phase of about 6-7 months later, I'm in bad pain. I go to my parents for a spaghetti dinner, Charles. I ended up on the floor. About 30 minutes later,
Jeez.
I'm on the floor in pain, vomiting, hurting, sweating. I will tell you this much. It was the closest, I think, in my life that I felt like I was dying. I really
doesn't sound good
felt,
at all.
I felt like I was dying. I felt like, I'm not going to live. I got to do something here. Something seriously wrong with me. I went to the hospital, Charles, and they might have had me in the ER for 10 minutes. And within 10 minutes, they shipped me upstairs, and they were like, you've got bad problems. You've got diverticulitis. You've got all these things going on.
Jeez.
You got to have a colonoscopy. You've got to, doctor comes in. He says, Mr. Outland, I already know the answer, but how many Mountain Dews do you drink a day? Well, I go through a 12-pack a day, maybe
Holy
18
crap!
Mountain
I didn't
Dews
know
a
you drank
day.
that many.
Holy cow, man. Listen, you're eating the lining in your stomach. The lining of the stomach, the acid, the sodas you're drinking, the Powerade, the energy drinks,
You're
if you
saying I
drink a
shouldn't
lot
be
of
drinking
them,
Red
don't
Bull
try,
and Mountain Dew mixed together?
not a lot of it. I mean, don't drink a lot of it. I mean, and these are things that I did, Charles, and we're
Yeah.
going to get off the air here, but these are things that I did when I was young and I was stupid and foolish. And
By the
now
way,
I'm hitting
Sam
40
Dyer said
and you don't.
Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I love Chick-fil-A.
Yeah,
Chick-fil-A. It's what you need to order.
He commented in on our question. He said Chick-fil-A. So
Yeah, we'll order Chick-fil-A. I got to get off the air, though, here. I got another broadcast obligation coming up. If you're tuned in on the Community Radio Network, we've got softball at 6 p.m. Eastern, volley, soccer at 6:30, all of that good stuff going on. Finish Line will be back here next Wednesday, April 13th. But to all of our audience, to all of our guests, I'm sure Charles will say as well, we apologize for Charles and the technical errors. But, I mean, it's nothing you can help. We had some great conversation. We're talking with Brent Marks. All of a sudden, it just goes. And I'm like, is that me? Hello? Hello? Hello?
Say, "Have a listen." Like, I'm poking you. Hopefully those are gone.
So, listen, we quickly adapted. We got right back on the air as best as we could with audio and close it out with video. So, thank you to all of our guests one more time. I want to acknowledge them all one more time. Big thanks to, of course, Clay Jones, Wake County Speedway, Denny's 175 this Friday night if you can be there. Preston Peltier, Five Flags Speedway, round one of the Blizzard Series doubleheader. It will be on Racing America. Brent Marks, he's going to be racing, I believe, in, did he say Missouri? I think he said Missouri. Sprint car racing in Missouri, I think is what he was saying. Kate Brown, legend, late model winner. Brian Morehouse, 811 call before you dig 250 Xfinity Series. Caden Quapple, he's in action in Greenville Pickens with the Cars Tour. And Mike and Cody Norman, MN Motorsports, you never know where they're going to be. Bowman Gray Stadium starting, Caraway's going on, modifieds are rocking and rolling. You enjoy it. On the road to life, there is always a finish line. It can be narrow, it can be crooked. Somehow make it straight and reach the end of that goal. Have fun. Always remember, good overcomes evil. God bless you all. Keep on praying for America. I love you all. We'll do it again next Wednesday, the 13th of April. Take care.
Hey, it's broadcast personality Wesley Outland, and for the second year in a row, the Community Radio Network is excited to also be the voice of iRacing on LSRTV every Monday and Thursday night with the Northwest Racing Series for Cup and Truck. Join yours truly, Justin Prince and Samuel Dyer, every week as they race towards a championship. We're also on the radio in the Triangle in the Raleigh-Durham, North Carolina area at 87.5 WCRN and anywhere worldwide at wearecrn.com. Click play. Check out the coverage, the power of radio to the imagination of the listener, esports style. We are the Community Radio Network, the voice of iRacing on LSR-TV. Check it out when you can, and replays are always up too.
Let me tell you about MPM, McAllister Precision Marketing. They can assist up-and-coming racers with career advancement, promotion, and assist in sponsorship procurement. MPM also has media and professional etiquette training. They work with premier driver development teams and limited late models to late models. And they also help the teams to make it up to the levels of K&N, ARCA, Truck Series, and even NASCAR Xfinity. Contact Tanya McAllister today at McAllister Precision Marketing, 803-361-6199. Today, get on the board with MPM.
CrateInsider.com is your one source for crate racing tech and more. Whether you currently race with a crate engine or you are thinking about getting into the sport, our website has what you need. CrateInsider.com has tech videos, interviews with experts, and the best products in the industry. Dyno tested and proven, so we know they are the best products for crate engines. Visit CrateInsider.com today to get on the fast track to victory lane.
This episode is an exclusive production solely for the private, non-commercial use of our listening audience. Any publication, reproduction, transmission of the accounts without the express written consent or permission is restricted and prohibited. To hear this replay or other previous podcasts, download on iHeartRadio, iTunes Radio, and TuneIn. As always, this show is for you. Thank you for listening.